All right. Okay. Right. Right. So this is the first day of 2028 A-level English medium class. Right. I think you can hear me, right? And am I visible? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Am I visible? Right? Is it okay? Right. Now, this is the first day. So we are going to start the journey of combined maths, right? Okay. So what is combined maths? මොකක්ද ළමයි combined maths කියන්නේ? What is combined maths? What is the history of this subject? So we have two parts here, mainly pure and applied. Now we have two parts. There are two parts, pure mathematics and applied mathematics. So before 1999, there were two papers, pure and applied. So they got separate results for the pure paper and the applied paper. So after 1999, from 2000, thereafter, they combine pure maths and applied maths. So altogether, after combining it, they named it as combined maths. So before everything, you have to know what is combined maths. So the name is derived from two parts, pure and applied, altogether combined mathematics, right? So that is the history. So from 2000 to 2010, we had only essay questions. There were 9 pure essay questions and 9 applied questions. So they had to answer 6 out of 9 and 6 out of 9. Actually, there were 2 papers, pure and applied, on separate days. But altogether, they had 1 result. Previously, before 1999, they had 2 papers, 2 results. There were 4 results now. Pure, applied, physics, chemistry. Now, after combining pure and applied, after combining pure mathematics and applied mathematics, it became combined mathematics. So now on, after the year 2000, we all got 3 A's, right? 1 for combined mathematics, 1 for physics, 1 for either chemistry or ICT, right? So after 2010, there was a syllabus change. Actually, there was a change in the structure of the syllabus, structure of the paper. So they had matrices and the paper got something new. They included short questions. They included what? Short questions. Part A questions, Part B questions. Part A for short questions, Part B for essay questions. Right, Lamin? So now you can write the name of the subject, combined maths. And now you know how to derive the name of the subject. Right, Lamar? Okay. Take your time and write the topic combined maths. And we have two parts, PO and applied mathematics. We have two parts. First part is PO mathematics, second part is applied mathematics. Before 1999, there were two parts, PO mathematics and applied mathematics. And after 2000, they combine the PO part and the applied parts into one single subject, which is called combined mathematics. Samyukta Ganita, combined mathematics, right? Okay. Someone is trying to join the meeting, but something is going wrong. Right. Okay. I will put the recording. Okay, done with writing? All right. So you know how to answer if someone asks you what I am doing for your A levels. Now you know how to explain what the subject is. Actually, if someone asks, what is combined mathematics? Isn't it just mathematics? Maths. Maths scale again, combine scale again. Why do they call it combined method? Now you know the answer. Before 1999, they had two parts, two papers, two separate results. So it's not combined. So they combine it together and they call it combined mathematics. So that's the first thing we have to do. Otherwise, you will be doing something without knowing the meaning of the name, actually, right? This one is not working. Right. So the first part is that. What is the subject? How to explain the name of the subject. That's how we think logically. We need some definitions to derive the actual meaning. Right, Lavik? Okay. Any questions? So you know what the subject is. It is combined maths. Now the syllabus. So we have two parts. Actually, even though they combine two parts to make the single subject, but it has two parts, two papers, right? 50 marks for PO Maths out of 100 and 50 marks for Applied Maths out of 100. Previously, they had 100 out of 100, 100 out of 100. Two separate results, right? Now we have half of the mark for PO Mathematics and half for Applied Mathematics. That's the scenario. So this paper, we have two parts. Part A, 10 short questions. Even for applied mathematics, we have two parts. 10 short cues. And there are 7 essay questions. And 7 essay questions. So somewhat we are getting two identical papers, identical in a way, in the structural way, it's identical of the questions, right? So for pure mathematics, we get 10 short questions, 7 essay questions. For applied mathematics, we get 10 short questions and 7 essay questions. Out of 7 essay questions, you have to answer 5. And these 10 short questions, they are compulsory. So you have to answer them, otherwise your marks will be deducted. If you leave them empty, your marks will be deducted. So mainly you have to focus on short questions and as well as essay questions. But for essay questions, you need not to worry. Why? You can pick 5 out of 7. Even for the applied paper, you can pick 5 out of 7 only for the essay questions. But for short questions, you have to answer them all. You have to answer them. Right? Otherwise, your marks will be deducted. Right, Lamai? So, we are done with the introduction. We are done with the name and the structure of the paper. Now, shall we, without any further ado, shall we start the lesson? Right? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask using any language, not Tamil. I don't know in Tamil. You can ask in Sinhala, that's okay. You can ask in English, that's okay. That's fine by me. I will be explaining things. If you need to explain everything in English, I will be explaining everything in English. Times I will be explaining them in Sinhala as well, if you want it, right? But this is the English medium class, so we will be focusing on doing it in full English medium, not bilingual, in English medium way, right? Okay, right, Lamai. So are there any questions? Prashna තියෙනවා. Right? So this is the first day, I know. And doing mathematics, you are focusing on going to engineering. Mainly, the main focus is to do engineering. And there are several paths to follow, even though you can't go into Moroto engineering, Pera engineering, whatever the faculty you want to go, right? There are two different paths that you can follow by doing mathematics. So before talking about them, we have to know what mathematics is, right? So the first topic is Lamani. So I will be doing the lesson in the first day, and we will talk about the paths. We will talk about the job opportunities. How can you lead the way to your professional career, right? So the first lesson. Now there are 20, at least 20 lessons under the category PU. And there are 19 or 20 more lessons under the category applied mathematics. So we will have to cover 39 plus topics, lessons in order to complete the whole syllabus, right? Can you get the idea, right? Okay. So there are 39 lessons, at most 42 lessons. If we divide some lessons into trigonometry 1, trigonometry 2, there will be up to 42, 43 lessons, but mainly there are main 39 lessons. For chemistry, if I am correct, there are 14 lessons. For physics, there are 13 or 14 lessons. We will say it's 15, right? Generally, we can take it. There are 15 and 15 lessons for chemistry and physics, but for combined maths, this is the main subject. If someone asks you, what are you doing for your A levels, you are not telling them that I'm following physics, I'm following chemistry. No, you are telling them that you are doing physical science, which is mathematics, right? You are doing combined mathematics. You are trying to do your A levels in mathematics. So the main subject will be maths, right? So this subject has 39 lessons, 39 main lessons. If we divide them into several parts, there will be 43 or 42, right? Okay, so we have to follow them. We have to complete them. Now, I will show you a slide where we have the syllabus, then you can get the idea. Give me a minute. I can't find the syllabus image. I will find it. Right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Type the questions in the chat and send it to me. Right, I'll go the image. Right, Lama. I will show you the syllabus and all the lessons we have to cover, and you will get the idea. Right. Okay, Lama. I think you can hear me. Am I audible? Yes. Right. Okay. The mic is okay. So the first lesson is fundamentals of algebra, basic algebra in simpler way. Okay. Right. Okay. And the second lesson is functions. Next one is inequalities. Now you can see, that there are 39 lessons now. 39 lessons. Right? Okay. We'll zoom it. Right. Right. So we have to complete fundamentals of algebra. So we will be starting the lesson today, and we will be completing the lesson by the end of the month, and we will continue doing some more questions in April, right? And we will start the second lesson, which is functions. No, we have to start the second lesson, inequalities. Then we can start the third lesson, functions. So we have modulus graphs, logarithms, polynomials, trigonometry, partial fractions, coordinate geometry, etc. Right? So we will send you the tutorial, and in the back of the tutorial, you will get the full syllabus. Same one as this one, right? Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me on the chat, right? Right, okay. Where is the screen? Now we will be doing the class, the online class, weekly on Thursday night, right? On Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. Actually, the online class. And the physical class will be done physically. For Gampa students, it will be done at SyZyGy Gampa, and the Nugegoda one will be done at Rotary Nugegoda. Okay, okay. Right now. Okay, now you know the subject, how to derive the name, how we got the name combined mathematics. Right. Shall we move on to the lesson 11? So what is the first lesson? You have just seen it. What is the first lesson? Basic algebra, fundamentals of algebra. The first topic is basic algebra. Basic algebra. Fundamentals of algebra. Here we basically doing a revision of O-level mathematics, and there will be some content which was not in your O-levels, but they will be very useful for your A-level simplifications, mainly focusing on simplifications, right? And for the first lesson, there will be no short questions. There will be no essay questions. That means 0 marks. Out of 100, you will be getting 0 marks. This is the foundation, and this will not be visible to anyone. But this is the lesson which will act as the foundation of the whole subject. That means we are trying to develop our cognitive way of logical thinking and simplification. That's the main focus of this lesson. Right, Lamai? So the first lesson is basic algebra. Write down the topic. Actually, you have to use some separate papers or separate a separate book for theory parts. For exercises, you can use draft papers or another separate book for exercise. So I will be telling you to, okay, now we will do some exercises. When I'm telling you to do some exercises, you will have to switch the books, right? So for theory part, you have to use the theory note. Can you get the idea? Buy a CR book of 40 pages. That's more than enough for theory part. And for questions and exercises, you will have to buy 200 pages CR book, right? For questions, for exercises, right? Make sure that you are writing your theory parts on a separate book, or either you can use papers and you can staple them after we finish the lesson, right? Okay. So this will be something you need to matrix. It will be a good one, right? So you can, whenever you want to read the theory part of a lesson, you can take the theory note and read it. Otherwise, there will be exercises and topics and special notes all together in a single book. So you won't be able to find the theory parts at once, right? So it will be easier for you to maintain a separate theory book so that you can read, you can access theory parts without any trouble, right? Okay. Okay. Are you done with writing? Lamai, done writing? If you are done writing, put a chat message D1. Yes, we have to interact. This is an online class, right? So we have to interact. You have to chat. Put D1. Done writing the first part. The topic, basic algebra. There will be no short questions. There will be no essay questions. Therefore, 0 marks out of 100. Why 0 marks? There are main lessons from which we will be getting essay questions and short questions. Right? Okay. Done writing? Mugutate. Yagata. Right. So let's move on to the topic. Shall we? Shall we move on to the topic, Lavai? First topic. Right. Okay. The first topic is number systems. Number systems. So this is the foundation of the subject where we learn about numbers, where we learn how to simplify, where we learn the basic theories of combined mathematics. So I'm checking the YouTube live now. Okay, the YouTube live is lagging, right? Easy. Right, okay, let's move to the Zoom chat again. Right, Lamai, okay. So what are numbers? What are numbers, Lamai? Muna, the numbers can. What are numbers? So we have to categorize all the numbers that we know into several different categories, groups. There are some axioms we need to learn before simplification. But first of all, we have to categorize all the numbers. What are the categorizations we know? What are the numbers we know? First, numbers. What are the numbers we know? If you can give some examples, numbers we know. Why we use numbers? So for counting, we need numbers, right? So for financial mathematics, we need numbers. How many coins, how many notes, how many dollars, how many rupees, how many items are there. So we have to use some sort of a language to count. So what are the counting numbers? The first category of numbers will be natural numbers, counting numbers. Or in other words, we can say positive whole numbers. Positive whole numbers. Right, Lamai? Positive whole numbers. Now you can get the idea by the definition. So what are the numbers in natural numbers? The set of natural numbers contain positive whole numbers. The set of natural numbers contains what? Positive whole numbers. Right. That means the set includes positive whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we label the set as n with a dash. Right? N with a dash. So that we can discriminate. So we can see the difference between capital N and the natural number set n. Right? We put a dash there. N for natural numbers. Right? So the first categorization, the first set of numbers will be natural numbers. Right, Lamai? Make sure you write this set and the explanation, definition, and other names. Whole numbers can be written as whole numbers, can be given the name natural numbers, can be called them as counting numbers, right? So there are different types of different names that we can use. But mainly we use natural numbers. We get the symbol capital N with a dash, right? Latex N, N with a dash. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the whole positive numbers, all counting numbers. We use them to count whole objects. Objects, you can count coconuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, right? So are there any other numbers? Are there any other numbers that we can categorize which are not in this set? That means we have to expand this set. We need to expand this set. There should be another number which is not in this set, implying that we need to expand the set. And there will be another categorization for this numbers. which includes natural numbers. But there are some other. What are they? Do you know any numbers? Do you know any numbers which are not in this set? Answers? Can you answer? Can anyone answer? Any number which is not in this set. Therefore, we have to expand this set. We have to generate another set with more elements. YouTube live එක clear clear නේ හොඳයි. Right, okay. Right ළමයි? Are there any other numbers? Give some examples. බය වෙන්න එපා. The first day but just type some numbers, some examples in the chat. හරි ළමයි? Right. What about YouTube students? Right, are you done with writing? Please make sure you are done with writing. If you're done with writing, please let me know, ළමයි. Is Gavin Nanayakkar is here? No, right? Okay. What about Ilyas? Right, ළමයි. So what are the numbers which are not included in the set of natural numbers? So we have the first set, ළමයි. So we have the first categorization, which is natural numbers. Right? Now, shall we move to the second part? Second one will be integers. And the notation will be easy. In German, it's called Zahlen, right? So for integers, we label it as easy, which includes the set of integers will include negative whole numbers, 0, and positive whole numbers. So there will be all the natural numbers and 0 and all the negative whole numbers. Right, Lama? Okay. Right. So the set of integers will contain positive whole numbers, 0, and negative whole numbers. Right, Lama? Right. So now we know two different number sets, right? Now we have two different number sets. First one is natural numbers. Second one is integers. So in natural number set, we have positive whole numbers. But in integers, the set of integers, we have 0, positive whole numbers, and negative whole numbers. Right? Okay? Make sure you are done with writing. ලියලා ඉවරන කියනවා. YouTube කට්ටිය ලියලා ඉවරන D1 කියලා chat එකක් දාන්න. Zoom අය කරගෙන යන්න. Right, ළමයි? So we have two different number sets. Right, ළමයි? Take your time. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm just forwarding the tutorial to the WhatsApp group. If you are not in the WhatsApp group, please send a WhatsApp message. Note 7 877 866. Right, ළමයි? Are we done? Are we done writing? Yes. Okay. Now we have to move to the third one. So we are third one. Rational numbers. Rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? The notation is Q. Q for quotient, ratio between some integers. So we can define rational numbers as a ratio between two integers, right? So what are integers? Positive whole numbers, 0, and negative whole numbers. So when we are taking a ratio between two integers, we have to avoid one situation. What is that? When we are taking a ratio between two numbers, what is the scenario? What is the ratio that we have to skip. If we divide by 0, it is not defined. So this is the very first special note we have. We cannot divide by 0. Put a topic and write special note. Dividing by 0 is not defined. Dividing by 0 is not defined. The topic, subtopic, special note. Dividing by 0 is not defined. We cannot define how to divide by 0. It's not defined. We cannot answer that question. So those kind of questions are called not undefined. Undefined situations where we can't get to an answer. Right, Lama? Okay. Right. So whenever we are taking the ratio, we have to make sure that we are not making the denominator 0. So we are taking two integers. Q is not equal to 0. So whatever the rational number you can generate, the denominator must be non-zero. Denominator cannot be 0. If it is 0, it is not defined. So this is the rational number Z, where P, Q belongs to Z. Right? P and Q are two integers, not natural number. P and Q are two integers, and the divisor, the denominator, can never be 0. If it is 0, it is not defined. So we can't add something which is not defined to a certain set. It has a definition. A set is a well-defined thing. So we have to put something which has been already defined into a set. So we cannot put undefined things. First thing is we cannot divide by 0. Therefore, it's undefined. Therefore, we cannot include it to a set. Right? Okay. Okay, make sure you write some examples. What are the examples we can write? For rational numbers are 3 over 2, 5 over 11, 2 over 1, which is actually 2, which is a natural number, minus 3 over 2, minus 5 over 1. See, we can add 0 over 3, but we cannot add 5 over 0. No, we can't add. Right? Okay, Lamai? Okay. මොකද තත්ත්වය? Number systems. ලියාගන්න ළමයි. Are you done with writing? මොකද තත්ත්වය? Right? So we have three different categories for numbers. First one, natural numbers. Second one, integers. Third one, rational numbers. So what are natural numbers? Natural numbers are positive whole numbers, which can be taken as counting numbers. And what about integers? Integers are negative whole numbers and positive whole numbers along with 0. Then we can derive a set which contains fractions. So how can we derive it? So we can take the ratio of two integers and we can create another number, which are called fractions, which are called, actually they are rational numbers. And there are two types of rational numbers. finite decimals and infinite recurring decimals. So there are two types of rational numbers. First one, finite decimals. Second one, infinite recurring decimals. Right? Shall we write some examples? Right? If we take 2.53, we can rewrite it as 253 over 100. What about 0.21? It's 213 over 1000. What about 0.25? It's 1 over 5. See, if we consider finite decimals now, if we have finite decimals, they can be written as a ratio between two integers. They can be written as a ratio between two integers. Right? Okay. What about infinite decimals which are recurring? What about infinite decimals which are recurring? Recurring infinite decimals. Another examples. 0.3333 recurring. It is 1 over 3. Right? Now there is a part where we have to learn how to convert recurring decimals into fractions. But here we are not talking about it. Here we are just adding some examples so that we can understand the concept of rational numbers. Another one, 1.77777. This one is 1 plus 7 over 9, 16 over 9. Right? You can use a calculator to check the answer out. Right? So we will learn how to convert those recurring decimals into a ratio between two integers. But from this instance, we just have to know some examples to get the idea of rational numbers. Right, Lavai? Okay. Done writing? Yes, good. Nearby. Now, shall we move on to the fourth one? Irrational numbers. Actually, this one is the set which contains which are not rational. Right? It's some kind of a complement of the rational numbers. Right? Okay, Lavai? So we can represent it using CQC, complement of C, complement of Q. So it contains pi root 2 E. We will learn about this Euler's constant. And pi is not 22 over 7. It is a irrational numbers. It can never be written as a ratio between two numbers, two integers. So you have to change that concept in your O levels. I think you must have taken it to be 22 over 7. But remember, pi is irrational. We cannot represent it as a ratio of two integers. Root 2, we cannot. We can never represent it as a ratio between two integers. E, we will learn about it later. All right. Some other examples. Root 3, root 8. So these numbers are irrational. These numbers are irrational. In other words, simpler way to understand the concept. In other words, we can rewrite it as non non-recurring infinite decimal. Right. So what are non-recurring infinite decimals now? So it is a number containing a decimal part, but it never ends and it has no pattern. There is no pattern. 2, 5, 7, 6, 1, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3, 1, 7. There is no, we cannot find any pattern now. No pattern. So they are called non-recurring. It's not recurring. Like the previous examples, it's not recurring. Remember, it's non-recurring and it has an infinite tail, the decimal points. It never ends and it is continuing generating numbers which has no pattern. If there is a pattern, that is a rational number. If there is no pattern, it is an irrational number. Right? No pattern. Infinite terms with no pattern. Right, Lava? Okay, done writing. If you are done writing, please let me know. Clear, Lava? If you have any questions, you can let me know. What about YouTube? YouTube Janata? Clear, Lava? Right, okay. So we are done with natural numbers. Hari Lava? Natural numbers, Hari. Integers, Hari. Rationals, Hari. Rationals are the examples 3 over 4, 5 over 2. Fractions, but we can explain it little bit deeper using decimals. If it is a finite decimal, it is a rational number. If it is an infinite decimal, but with a recurring decimal part, it will be, we can convert it to be a rational number. Right, Lama? Okay. Aren't we done? Right? And the last one is fifth one. Real numbers. It has a notation R. R is the set of rationals and the union of two sets, rationals and irrationals. So we have the real number set. Here we have the real number set. We can divide this one into two parts, irrationals and rationals. Inside rationals, we have integers. Inside integers, we have natural numbers. So natural numbers are in the set of integers. The set natural numbers is in the set integers. The set integers are in the set of irrational numbers, rational numbers, right, Lama? And as the complement of Q, we have the irrational numbers. Here we have fractions. Here we have -1, -2, 0. Here we have positive whole numbers. Right? Can you see the categorization? Right, okay. So I have drawn another rectangle. Another rectangular shape beside the real number set. So here we have imaginary numbers. If we take the square root of -3, this one is imaginary, right? So altogether, we call this one complex numbers, right, Laman? So if we consider imaginary numbers and real numbers, these are real numbers. These are non-real numbers. There is no word such as non-real numbers. It should be called as imaginary numbers, right? So if we consider the imaginary set of numbers and the real number set, all together we can call them complex numbers. There is a separate lesson for complex numbers. It will be in grade 13, second term or third term. So it will be a little bit difficult and we will have to complete about 35 lessons to get to the lesson complex numbers. So no need to hurry, no need to worry about the lesson beforehand. So we just take the idea, just get the idea. Complex numbers are containing real numbers and the imaginary number set. So we can represent them using two real numbers. No need to worry about that. But you need to understand the categorization of numbers. What is the smallest? What is the smallest? The basic fundamental set of numbers. It is the natural number set. And we need negative numbers and zero, the concept zero. And then we have to develop another set, including the natural number set, which is the integer set. And we have to take the ratio between two integers to get the rational number set. And there are more numbers which are not included in the rational number set. And we label them as the complement of the rational number, which is the set of irrational numbers. And altogether, every rational, altogether will be called the set of real numbers. And there are more to it. If we take the square root of negative numbers, boom, it's not real. It's imaginary. So altogether, for all imaginary, for all real, we have to label them as complex numbers. Right, Lamai? So that's the end of the categorization. Make sure you are done with writing. ලියලා ඉවර කරගන්න. පොඩි time එකක් දෙන්න. So we are done with the first session. We are done with the first session, lamai. So this is the end of the session, lamai. So if you have any questions, please let me know. There will be the second class next Thursday night or next Friday night. I will put a notice in the WhatsApp group and you can join from the site Studyplus.lk, right? So we are done with the first topic, which is number systems, and it has 5 subtopics. The categorization is natural numbers with integers and with rational numbers, and we got irrational numbers, and finally we got real numbers, and end of the topic we had complex numbers. No need to worry about it right now, right? Okay, so the first topic of basic algebra is natural numbers, and we have a clear picture of natural numbers. Now the main advice that I can give it to you is to finish your work before I'm going to finish them during the sessions, right? So this is an online class, so you can easily join and you can easily watch the recording. There's this facility. You can rewatch, you can have another look at it, even though you have done completing the live class as well, right? You can revise by yourself using the recordings. That's fine by me, right? Okay. Now the thing is, so everyone is giving some advices for the newcomers, but there's only one advice lamai we can have. There's only one. එකයි තියෙන්නේ. අවවාදය මට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. There's only one advice. Make sure you are completing your work before me. For the first day, I'm not giving you some exercises. We will be doing all the topics. We will be completing all the topics. And we will have the second session. In this week, I will notice everyone, right? Okay. So we will be doing some exercises. There's no need to do some exercises on number systems. Make sure that you know the notations. First one is N, second one is Z, third one is Q, fourth one is QC, Q dash, and the last one is capital R with a dash, right? Make sure you put the dash. Then everyone who is doing mathematics will know that you are indicating a set, right? Okay, Lamai? Okay, so I'm going to wind up the session today with a piece of advice to make sure that you are completing the work that I'm going to give you in upcoming weeks, upcoming sessions, so that you can do some by yourself. Make sure that you are completing the work that I'm giving you by yourself. That's the main and the basic secret. An A-level student should follow, right? Okay, now, shall we go? Good night, Laman. I'm going to wind up the first session. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can WhatsApp me using the registration number, which is